My wife, Chris, and I have 4 kids. Michael, Liam, Colin, and McKinley, 14, 8, 7, and 6. The 3 youngest ones are on the autistic spectrum.
Originally, when Liam was born, we brought him home from the hospital and we knew something wasn't quite right. He would cry for very long stretches of time. He seemed to stare at the fan a lot. He wouldn't make a lot of contact with our eyes and our face. He didn't babble or coo, things like that. And as he continued to develop, he just continued to lag behind, especially in communication.
But with Colin and McKinley, it presented itself completely differently. Colin actually, when he was around 3, started to regress, started to lose some social skills, started not maintaining eye contact and things like that. Whereas McKinley, probably a little older than when Colin was, actually started showing signs of lacking social skills. And that's when we were able to pick up on the fact that something was a little wrong with them too. And at that point, we were able to have them tested and diagnosed on the autism spectrum as well.
We've heard about Hope through the grapevine. I grew up here in Greenville, South Carolina, so I knew a little bit about them. And when we moved to Greenville, my husband called to inquire about their services, and he took Liam in for an evaluation. And it was really neat because we felt like we were at home.
We started Project Hope Foundation 20 years ago when the rate of autism was 1 in 2,500. The current rate is 1 in 68, 1 in 42 boys. And so over that 20-year span, we've had to expand our services to try to meet the urgent needs of this population. So we have a wide range of programs. We're mission-oriented towards a lifespan of autism services. So we serve across ages, from 2 to the mid-20s. We serve across the spectrum itself. So we've got folks who are working on their very basic communication of needs and wants, and we have some who are college-bound. And then we're across programs. So we have an educational program, we have a therapeutic program, and we have adult services, along with workshops and trainings for parents in the community.
Through Project Hope, they have Hope Academy, which is a school, and Liam is in a class called Bridging the Gap. It's a class where some of the children need a little more help. There are more therapists and assistants actually in the class, more individualized per child. Whereas Colin and McKinley are more within a typical classroom. Those classrooms are blended classrooms where they may have 1 or 2 children on the autistic spectrum, along with the rest filled out of typical children. In addition to the classrooms with Hope Academy, they also have Hope Reach, which is the ABA therapy portion of Hope. An average child will usually do somewhere between 20 and 40 hours a week of therapy. And we have numerous therapists that come in and work with the children. Again, it could be on behavioral, emotional, academic, or social skills. Whatever the child needs at that time, the therapy is highly individualized and works exactly on that child's needs.
Project Hope is currently serving about 200 children in our one-on-one therapy program. So that means we've got a staff of about 200 therapists who are working one-on-one day in and day out with these children. We have about 100 students in our educational programs, and we're serving about 20 in our adult services. The United Way has been a gift to our program because we have a tried and true program with best practices in place, but we needed that support for the gap in funding. Without United Way, we would not have this infrastructure to help these services help these children.
Since we've started Project Hope, the changes have been remarkable. As far as Liam having very limited vocabulary, to the point where he's now 9 and we can't get him to stop talking. And it's the same story with Colin and McKinley.
McKinley and Colin are both readers now. And continue to make progress in their reading. Socially, McKinley just really was withdrawn from I would say, the world. She really just kind of stayed to herself a lot. And through the therapy, she has really just come out of her shell. Colin, he's a funny little guy. He's busy. He's typical little boy. He's into dirt and trucks and, playing ball outside. He's playing soccer this year. He's just really made a lot of progress where he can be in a typical class and have friends and really just made tremendous progress.
From before, when we came from Charlotte, something like Project Hope didn't exist. We didn't get the services that were needed. It just wasn't offered. If it wasn't for programs like United Way and other donors, Project Hope wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be funded, and we wouldn't be able to get the services that our children need as a family.
On both a personal and a professional level, I want to thank everyone who is supporting United Way. Your dollars are transforming lives. Through your gifts, we are able to help children learn to speak their first words, for families to go to a restaurant for the first time, for an adult to see that there is a future for them, and for parents to have some peace that when they're gone, their children are going to be all right. You're really making a difference.